Good morning, everybody. This is your program, and this is your host, Femi Ojo, and this is what we call the update. What is the update? The update is a place where we are gathered together to gain wisdom, where we gather together to understand what is going on in the world. I can tell you at this time we have we are in a situation whereby things are going different direction. Nobody ever thought at this time you will be at home sitting down doing nothing. Nobody ever thought at this time you will not be at work. You will not. Everybody has a dream at the beginning of the year and says, "This is what I'm going to be doing." And all of a sudden, you find yourself at home doing lockdown. And what do you do with the vision? What do you do with the time that you have in your hand when you are home? It is a time for you to reflect on yourself and develop the gift that you don't even know that you have. And the thing that you think you don't know that you can do, you start doing them. And that's one thing I have seen, and I call the time to update yourself. And this morning, I introduce to you the third episode of the update. On this show this morning, I have a guest whom I know will be a blessing to you, and he has been a blessing to many people. And I'm glad to have him on this show this morning. And he's going to be speaking to us. We want to learn from him. We want to see how God has helped him. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you Dr. Miracle Anyanwu, all the way from Las Vegas. Good morning, doctor.
Good morning, sir. Good morning. God bless you, sir.
It's a pleasure to have you on this show, and I'm glad I'm able to connect with you, particularly to get this thing done, and it's a blessing to have you right here on the show, the update.
Bless God. Thank you, sir. My God. Thank you for the privilege. I appreciate that.
So, who is Dr. Miracle Anyanwu?
Oh my God. All right. First of all, Bishop, I like to call you Bishop. Thank you so much for the privilege of being here today on your show, the update. And I believe this update program is from God. Yeah, because when you spoke to me a few days ago, I went to pray, and I believe that there is something God wants to do through this program. First of all, the question you're asking me is not really something I'm very used to. I'm not very used to describing who I am, but I believe that whatever we say today and whatever comes out today, by the grace of God, is going to be a blessing and a testimony to the lives of people. Who is Miracle? By the grace of God, I am the first out of the 4 children my parents gave birth to. My parents were barren for 8 years. I never had a child, and miraculously, by God's grace, prophetically, God used one man of God. He's my spiritual mentor to today. And the man said to my parents, by this time next year, you will have a son, and his name shall be called Miracle. And that prophecy was done, or came out, I think, on the month of April 11th. And the following year, I was born on the month of April the 12th. And you can tell that it wasn't a coincidence. I believe it was prophetic, and it was the will of God. I give God praise for that. Miracle grew up in a family that loved him, and I still love him. And after I was born, I got 2 sisters, and the last was a boy. And I was a boy that was born, and I was a stutterer. I was a chronic stutterer. People see me today the way I talk, and many people don't understand that there was a testimony, there was a history behind everything that you see today. I was a stutterer from the time I was born to the age of 14. And imagine when God tells your parents that you will be a man of God. You preach the word globally. And it didn't make any sense that I was born stuttering. And my own was very chronic. Let me give an example. If you tell me to pronounce Jesus that time, if you had told me to pronounce Jesus, I would be that's me. That's the kind of person I was, and that is me. And I give God praise for what He did in my life at the age of 15. At the age of 15, I woke up one morning to lead morning devotion with my parents and my siblings, and all of a sudden I began to talk eloquently. Um, I love the Lord. I'm married to the most beautiful woman on earth. Um, and I have two kids. I have a son and I have a daughter. One is 2.5 years. The other one is 1.5 years old. And I'm here. By the grace of God, I'm a medical doctor by profession, and I reside in Las Vegas, Nevada. Um, we have a ministry God gave us, and we have a non-profit organization, Legal Foundation, and I host a program called Wisdom Nuggets of the Miracle. And I thank God I'm here. I bless God for everything.
You are just a wonderful man with a lot of testimony. You know when you talk about being a starter, I just remember something. You are just like Moses.
Yes.
You are just like Moses, and I remember back in those days too as well. I see myself in such a way that when I speak, people always call me back. What are you saying? In my growing up, I probably see myself as it's like my mom is the only one that could understand me. Anytime I speak, people say, "Oh, you talk too fast." I don't see myself that way. So it's kind of a little bit difficult for me to communicate with people because they always call me back. Hey, what did you just say? What did when people say, "Huh?" And just like that. And when God called me to ministry, I was wondering, how am I going to cope with this? But just like the way Moses said, my predicament. I can't talk. But one thing I realized that during the time of Moses, even God said, "Don't worry, I have given you Aaron." During the time of Moses, anytime he appeared before Pharaoh, he's still the one talking.
Yeah, exactly.
Aaron was just there as figurehead.
That's right.
The man that said, "I could not talk," and God just, said, "Oh, don't worry, I gave you Aaron," so that he will gain confidence. Maybe when he get there, he will see, Aaron will be able to pass the message to Pharaoh. But by the time you get there, you realize that God just hijacked him and hijacked his tongue, and everything we just go smoothly without any problem. And that's just one of the things that I when you are giving sharing your testimony, I realize it's just like God actually prepare you for this assignment that you are doing right around the world. It's just the prophecy about you, just like that's it, Isaac thing. That by this time of next year, you'll be carrying the baby, and here comes Isaac, and just like that. And when you are talking about the ministry, number one, I realized that I was reading your profile and I realized that you are also a PK.
What?
You are a PK. I say pastor's kid.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and that kind of a little bit, a blessing. Is the same ministry that your dad pastor that you continue, or what?
Yeah, by the grace of God, and when it comes to that, I believe that it was orchestrated by God. My parents were not pastors at the time I was born. They were unbelievers.
Oh.
Okay. Yes, my parents were in the world. They got married as unbelievers. They didn't know the Lord.
Wow.
I believe that God allowed my birth to bring them close to Him. For 8 years, they were barren. They were trying all kinds of things. You know how we do it in Nigeria?
Yeah.
Where if you don't know Jesus, you can go anywhere you want to go to have a child, and that was exactly what happened to my parents. They did everything possible. Glory be to God that it never worked out that way. But it was when they came to the church, there's a program my mom was invited to. And it was God's grace that my father had to even say yes to her. And because he was tired of everything, but he loved my mom. Yeah, and he still loves my mom. So by God, when they came there, that was the day they gave their life to Christ. And the ironical thing that happened was that nobody preached to my parents. When my mom my dad got that encounter with God, that was the day my mom went home and began to do things differently. And a lot of things she did, it surprised my dad because nobody preached to them. They just had a conviction in their spirit that it was time to give their lives to Christ. And we give God all the praise that they gave life to Christ. At the age when I was 14 years old, that was when God called my mom, and now my dad joined. Oh. And that's how Miracle Covenant Center in Nigeria came into being. And I would tell you that one thing is for somebody to be called by God. Another thing is for someone to walk according to the timing of God. All right. Even though that I was born and I literally grew up knowing my parents being pastors and ministers, I wanted to know the timing of God, because God, the prophecy was I will be a preacher globally, and a lot of things were said about me, which I can't say now. It's just like Samson. Remember Samson? When Samson was born, and the Lord told the parents, tell him where the strength came from, all right? And don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
So it's similar. My life is similar. So a lot of things have happened in my life, and I thank God that God did all he did to his own glory at the right time.
Amen. It's just a wonderful testimony to hear that. And somebody, everything, that is, all things work together for good for those that love God and call according to his purpose. And I realize, your birth is kind of with assignment.
Amen.
It came with assignment, and without no doubt, and we could see, everybody can attest to what God is using you for.
Amen.
I was watching one time that you went to Nigeria, and you had, I know you said something about foundation, and you were giving a lot of people gift. It looks like the orphanage home, at the time. I don't know. You want to talk about it? You want to talk about that?
Well, it's about our ministry. The ministry was given birth, I think, I believe, on September the 13th, 2015, while I was here in the United States. One of the things people don't know about me, man of God, I thank you so much for this program. I thank you, and I thank God for your life. I want to say this for a reason. I have a lot of testimonies to give, but God always tells me to wait for the right timing. A lot of testimonies that I believe people have to walk in the timing of God. So when you called me and told me about this program, I went to pray, and the Lord told me it was time. So one thing I want to say is I was homeless in America. People didn't know that. That was the time I was homeless in America. So I believe every vision God gives any man of God and any person, it's given with a purpose. And if you watch any person that has any dream, you have to connect that dream to his history. All right. So I don't have much time to talk about my homelessness in America. For a few months, I was homeless in America when I came from Russia, where I studied medicine. And I got through an experience here in America, and a lot of people didn't know about it, but I believe this medium is a medium from now henceforth. I think God's timing for people to know what God has done and what God can do in your life. I came here and I was homeless for some time, and a long story cut it short, to the glory of God, I came out of that particular situation. And bear in mind, while I was homeless, I was writing my second book. My second book is Living Beyond the Dream World. I wrote that book when I was homeless. People didn't know that. Sometimes God allows you to be in a certain place because he's giving you an assignment. And when God puts you in a place of inconvenience, sometimes he's building a testimony for you. And that was how the dream of living beyond your dream world, the dream of Legal Foundation, Life Impact Generation Outreach Foundation came into being. And the Lord told me, I would love you to bless lives. You went through somewhere, and it is time for you to bless lives. And bear in mind, I didn't have so much money when I began the outreach.
Mm.
People always want to wait until they have money before they start working for God. God always tells you to start from the lowest point. You have a dream, you have a vision. God says, I know you don't have all the capabilities, all the financial resources, but I would trust you when you can have nothing to work for me.
Yes.
And that was what God did. I had a little job I was doing, and I had Legal Foundation. That was faith. And the purpose of Legal Foundation was just, there are two different purposes. One was for the homeless here in America, because I went through that. Every 3 months here in Las Vegas, we go to Salvation Army, where we distribute food, toiletries, medical supplies to the homeless shelter. And the second purpose was Nigeria. I can't forget where I came from. You know, one thing I want to encourage every Christian who is in America, who is an immigrant, is never forget your origin, where God has blessed you. And God told me, while you are blessing America, bear in mind that you cannot be good here and have a bad name at home. And to the glory of God, we position our vision also to the orphans and the widows in Nigeria. And that's what we're doing right now. Even now, we're having a pandemic right now. I'm so blessed to have a beautiful wife and also wife. I know one of the things you have to realize in life is your life becomes a mess, more especially as a minister, if you don't marry your wife, the wife that is meant for you.
God bless you. God bless. God bless. God. You keep that word on. Keep that word on, because many people don't understand in the ministry. You know, because that your question just quickly. You know, it really caught me so much. I was working yesterday, and I realized, you know, for every man that has a ministry, every man has a ministry. Every man. And the only thing to make you to succeed in your ministry is to remember that every man carried the DNA of a woman.
Amen. Praise God.
Because the real one, the one that is in you, when you find your rib, and that rib will match up with every vision that you have.
Praise God. Praise God. Yes.
So I want to thank God for, you know, I thank God for my wife as well. I just want to thank God for our life, you know, for supporting what I'm doing. And I remember, you know, when you know, before I got married, and I just realized when God said, you know, when people are looking for, when you're young and you are looking for the right partner, you want to look all every direction you want to get to. But when God directs your step to the right path, you will see it doesn't take too long before you know it.
Amen.
And when you get into it, you will realize. And getting into the ministry, you will see that everything will need to fall in place.
Amen.
It will need to fall in place. And I just thank God, you know, because God gave me my real wife. That's just that's one of the things there. And that's why you are still succeeding. You're succeeding in your ministry right now. And while you are talking about your life, the purpose of this show is to educate people and to encourage some people that, you know, in people that want to be that are trying to, maybe God is calling them to do one thing, or they have revelation for something, or they have a desire to do something, but they lack courage in doing it. Some people are just, you know, like they want to postpone it to when they will have enough to get this. But with what you just said right now, I would like you to buttress more. How did God take you from that low estate to where you are, knowing fully well that you don't have to have everything before you can start? You can start with a little that you have. You know, like telling the audience right now, how did you get out of that challenge that you are in?
Amen.
To get you to where you are right now.
Praise God. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Bishop. One of the things I want to say is every time I remember the life of Moses, you always said Moses, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
There was a question that God asked Moses when he was at the burning bush. He asked him, "What is in your hand?"
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What is in your hand? First of all, I want to say a lot of Christians today have so much treasure inside of them, but because of the negative circumstances that they're going through, they have neglected, they have despised the treasure God gave them. So, in response to your question, man of God, I will tell you this. I love to be real. I hate being fake. A lot of pastors are fake today. They always tell you everything is wonderful, oh, it's beautiful, but people want to hear your testimony. The Bible says they overcame the devil by the blood of the Lamb and by the words of a testimony. I'm proud to say that I was homeless. And I would also be proud to tell you that when I was in Russia, I was studying medicine in Russia. I was a scholarship. I was, by God's grace, I was one of the best students in Nigeria, 2001. And I got scholarship to study in Russia. And when I was in Russia, 2007, the Lord spoke to me through a man of God. I'm giving you a history of how everything happened.
Yes.
The man of God said to me, 2007, that was August 13, 2007. He called for a miracle. The Lord told me you've been faithful to him, but you have 2 more years left. And it says, remain faithful to God in 2 ways. Number 1, remain faithful to God your spiritual life, and also remain faithful to God sexually. Okay, I like to say that. It is very, very important because people don't know their future. When God gives you specific instructions, it's very, very important to follow that because God sees the end from the beginning.
Yes.
Right. So he told me that if you finish well, that God himself will take you to a better place. The Lord didn't say America, and he said specifically it's not Nigeria. I'm not saying that America is the best place to live, but I believe for everybody, God has a destiny for everybody at a particular point. Yes. And God said, you're going to a better place. But in that place, so God prepared me for what I was about to go through. He said, in that place, the beginning part of your life would not make sense. but trust God. So when I came to America and I began to experience a lot of things, a lot of things to talk about, but I wouldn't go into that now. Maybe next time I come to your show, I might share some things. But
yeah, definitely.
How did God do it? Grace. There was a time I lost hope. Yes. I found myself, I began to reminisce. I began to remember what God said about me, what the prophecy was all about when I was born. I said, God, look at miracle. Look at me. And I'm speaking to right now to somebody who is going through something right now. Yes. Maybe people have prophesied about, God has spoken some words to you about yourself in the future, but where you are does not look like it. Mm-hmm. Where you are doesn't look like it. And I'm telling you, God is not a liar. God cannot lie. But we have to follow God's timing, and we have to remain faithful and patient with God. So what happened to me, I was there and I lost hope. I was actually thinking of going back to Nigeria. I called my parents. I said, oh, you know what, I'm suffering here. And my mom and my dad together told me something because they were praying for me, and the Lord kept speaking to them through some men of God too, because they love the Lord. They love to seek God's guidance. And they said, my son, I know you are going through a lot there right now, but God said, remember that God is going to deliver you out of that situation. So how did it happen? God used strangers, different strangers to change my portfolio. And I had a relative in America here, but it didn't just go well. It's a long story. But I want to say this to everybody. Sometimes God, most times, not even sometimes, most times, God does things for himself so that no man would take the glory. Mm. You know, people will always say, I did this for you. I helped you. I did this for you. But God says, sometimes I just want to let people understand that I can use nothing to create something. Mm. The Bible said Jesus made the earth and heaven with nothing. And everything was formless until he said, let there be light. Mm-hmm. So sometimes I believe God allows us to go through the experience of wilderness. I won't lie to you, man of God. Bishop, I lost hope. Yes, I lost hope. I'm encouraging everybody right now because the flesh speaks to us. Mm-hmm. We have the flesh. Jesus said at Gethsemane, Father, if it is your will, let this cup pass me by. That was the flesh on Jesus. But he said, not my will. So sometimes don't feel bad when you feel discouraged. Don't feel bad when you cry. Don't feel bad when your life means nothing. But at the end of the road, don't lose hope. Just remember the assignment God gave you. Remember the purpose of God for your life. I went through homelessness for 6 months. I lived in the street. And oh my God, I live in the street and I was begging for bread until God led somebody to get me out of homelessness. Sometimes God brings you out from nowhere through strangers, and God uses people who will not take the glory. So please, I want to encourage you. A stranger took me out from that place, and God told me to write a book, and that was the book I wrote in the homelessness. I used to go to McDonald's and I was begging for $1 just to eat, and I was eating, I was writing my book. So don't feel bad when God is teaching you something. I'm telling you right now, God has taught me humility through that experience. It's always good to go through something, because many people today who are wealthy and rich, many of them can't reconcile with you because they've not been there. But when you have been through a position of humiliation, when God puts you in a place where you felt that there was no pardon to help you, that is the best place to be. I'm telling you, greatness is not determined in wealth. Hey, greatness is determined in your nobody. And that was where God blessed me, and I began to write. And when the book was completed, God began to orchestrate my life. How did I see? You don't plan things for God. God puts people in different positions for you. But the word is be patient with God. The Bible said those that wait, not just waiting upon the Lord. I stopped going to church. Yes, I stopped going to church. I said what my life was all about. But when God, at the point in the 6th month, God told me miracle. When God began to tell me everything I went through in Nigeria, in Russia, and here, how I got to America was a miracle also. And he told me, my son, what makes you think I am not faithful? What makes you think I can do it? So that brought my mind back. My parents were calling me, encouraging me. I bless God for their lives. And now I thank God. Man of God, I will answer that question in one word: grace. Grace of God. It wasn't by works. I did nothing. I only had to trust God. And I didn't do anything extraordinary. I'm a nobody that God taught me to somebody. But I will tell you one thing: it was God's grace, reliance on God. And God said, now, okay, my son, it's time to bless you. And he began to position people. I call them destiny helpers. God locates people and puts them in your life for a reason. And that's why I'm here today, man of God. God bless you.
Though your beginning might be small.
Yes, sir.
Being small does not mean it won't be rough.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
When your beginning is small,
yes, sir,
it goes through a rough time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Whereby your faith will be tested.
Yes, sir.
For people that want to receive gold, you must understand that gold has to go through
yes, sir.
a refinery.
Yes, sir.
Process.
Yes, sir.
Compressed. You can see, one Bible says, though your beginning might be small.
Yes, sir.
And as you are speaking right there, I could imagine what kind of challenges that small organizations, small business, small people,
Yes,
small vision, small things face.
Yes, sir.
You can see small animals are prey. You know, they become prey to bigger ones. They
Yes,
cannot
sir.
walk freely. Your vision might be small right now.
Yes, sir.
But if you can expand your
Yes.
tentacles, if you can
Yes,
expand that dream, if you can see beyond what you are looking at, in
Yes.
which you did.
Yes, Lord.
In the process, you were discouraged. But Bible says, it doesn't matter what your beginning look like.
Yes, Lord.
It does not matter what you are looking at right now. The bigger picture is what I want to focus on.
Amen.
Because your later end will be greatly increased.
Amen.
And I thank God for your life, because God has not even started with you yet.
Amen. Amen.
God has not started with you yet.
That's prophecy. I accept it in Jesus' name. Amen.
God has not started with you yet.
Amen. Amen.
You are still, it's just like a preamble.
Amen.
Because why? God is laying a foundation. Amen. Whereby you will be built on, and people will see. I said, there is a reason why I called him miracle.
Amen. Amen.
And that I pray that when this whole thing will come to manifestation, everybody will be alive to testify that indeed,
praise God.
This
praise
man
God.
is indeed a miracle.
Praise God.
And I thank God for your life. I don't know if for those of you that are watching right now, you have a question for Pastor Miracle. You know, you can send that question either to Ace Facebook or my Facebook right here, and we will be able to see your question and see how we can answer some of those questions. And while we're still talking about that, about what God is doing in your life. Remember, you said, what is your field in the medical field?
Well, by the grace of God, when I was in Russia, I focused on internal medicine. I am a doctor of internal medicine. That's another testimony, man of God. All right. Bear in mind that God is amazing, man of God. God is amazing. I just wish every Christian would just forget their sorrows, forget their bodies, and focus on God. The Bible says, "He that dwells in the secret
place of the Most High, hallelujah,
shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty." So I will tell you one thing. I have a lot of testimonies. I went to Russia to study medicine, and bear in mind I speak Russian also.
Wow.
We spent 9 months to study Russian, and after 9 months in learning the language, I now studied medicine. Medicine wasn't studied in English. We studied medicine in Russian. All right.
Really?
So, yes. And I will tell you this.
How do you speak Russian?
Kakdela, how are you?
Go ahead.
All right. So you asked the question. I will tell you this. God is a comedian. I always tell people God is a comedian. You know why? He makes fun of us. It makes you feel stupid sometimes, but he has a plan. He makes you feel inferior, but he has a plan. So how did I get here? I came out in flying colors in medical school in Russia, and I would say this to the glory of God. I'm doing this to share testimony, to tell people what God can do. It's not about me, it's just God. I studied with Russians, and I studied students in the medical school in Russia. I came to America, and people think I'm still proud. People think I'm focused only on ministry, but people don't know that I'm also in the medical field here in America. Although I don't share those on Facebook or publicize that, because God gave me an instruction. He said, "My son, it's all about me.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about me. It's not about what I've done for you. If I've delivered you, focus on me," and that's what I'm focused on. So I came to America to write my board exams. Can you imagine a homeless man writing a board exam?
Board exam. That's even difficult, because you did not study in America, and to write board exam in America is kind of difficult, because it's a two different words.
Yes, and I came here, and my purpose was to study. Bear in mind, I had somebody I was supposed to stay with, one of my affiliates, but God, in His own way, I don't want to talk about that. But God brought me out to go to an experience. I call that a wilderness experience.
Yes.
Before I said this, God is saying something to me. He's trying to tell somebody right now. Maybe you are angry with someone who disappointed you. You have to stop it. Because any person that left your life, it's not because they hate you. They walked in accordance to the purpose of God.
Yeah.
There are people who abandoned me when I was here. They're my best friends today. Even though it was hard. But God showed me that, listen, I had to let him say no to you. I had to allow him to say no to you, because if he did not say no to you, I feel like speaking in tongues. If that person never said no to you, you can't be who you are today. So I want to tell you right now what you mean. If somebody said no to you, please don't be angry with the person. God is working. God is even using that person to bless your life. So today, everyone that walked out of me, anyone that said no to me, I became their best friends. I went to them and said, "Thank you, Daddy. Thank you, Mommy, for saying no to me." So we have to change our mindset, man of God. Because sometimes we get angry, emotional, and we don't know every step of the way God is involved. Okay, all right, back to your question. So I came to America to write my board exams, and I was incapacitated. I could not write because I had the books to write, but psychologically I was not ready. But guess one thing, man of God, that will shock you also. I'm not practicing medicine right now.
Wow.
The Lord told me when I was writing my book, He said, Miracle, I want to tell you something that you hate. And that day I was angry with God. The Lord told me something, and that was, I can't forget dates, April the 10th, 2013, here in America. The Lord said to me, Miracle, you will not practice medicine. Man of God, I ran crazy. Everybody thought that Miracle would be maybe one of the Ben Carson, because I was dreaming to become a neurosurgeon in America.
Wow.
I came here to focus on neurosurgery. And the Lord said, Miracle, I'm sorry to disappoint you. You will not practice. Do you know what it means? Like, you spent how many years in Nigeria being the best student by God's grace, and came to America, came to Russia, and you were doing well, and you were planning. You see, you plan. One man said, plan and God will laugh. Tell God your plan and God will laugh at you. So I came to America to study medicine. I told myself, when I get out of homelessness, when the Lord positions me well, I will study again. And the Lord told me, stop reading for exams. I said, God, why? Why? And God said to me, He said, if you begin to practice in America or practice medicine anywhere right now, you won't fulfill my heartbeat. I said, then why do you allow me to study medicine? He said, because I wanted you to have everything you wanted in a secular world. Then I will bring you to my knees, to my knees, to my knees. I said, wow. So how would you make me to study all this? Say, yeah, because I wanted you to stand before kings and not men. I said, wow. So I was disobedient. Like I'm sorry, man of God, I will tell you the truth. I like to be honest. I was disobedient to God. I said, no, it's not for me. I love medicine. I want to practice. And I started working many jobs in America here. I got some small money, and I registered for my first exam, USMLE, first step. I passed the first step. God was laughing at me. God was laughing at me. I passed the first step, man of God. I wrote a second step, the USMLE clinical knowledge, the CK. I passed that one. God was laughing at me. And the last one that I was supposed to write was the easiest. I failed it, man of God. Listen, sir. Remember the people who were building the Tower of Babel?
Yes, yes. Yes.
God saw them and was laughing. And when God saw they were serious, He showed them that He was God. And the Lord destroyed the building and caused confusion among. That was what God did. I said, oh, CS is very easy. And the Lord surprised me, and I failed it 2 times. And I went there with confidence. All the questions were easy. Man of God, how did I fail? I don't know. And the Lord said to me, Miracle, if you think your purpose of achievement in life depends on the medicine, you are lying to yourself, because I called you in this world for a specific assignment. Medicine for you is a complement of your history. It's a complement of your achievement. But my purpose for you is to preach the gospel. And man of God, I will tell you right there, I cried. I sat down with God. I said, Father, sit down. Sometimes people don't know they have to communicate with God as a father and son. People don't know, many Christians don't know the authority they have as Christians. We don't know that we are sons and daughters, that we can sit down and communicate with God. I said, God, please, if you are calling me into ministry, let me talk with you. He said, what do you want? I said, God, I want to be wealthy. I'm sorry, man of God. I said that. I said, God, I want to be wealthy. I want to be rich. And God asked me, why? Let me tell this, man of God. It is important for every Christian to filter their emotions and filter their motives. The Bible said God is the man, or God is the God that searches the heart. He knows the content of your heart. When God asked me that question, why do you want to make money? I said, because I was homeless. I want to bless people. I said, God, if you want me to be in ministry, I don't want to suffer as a pastor.
Yes. Yes.
I don't want to beg for bread. And most importantly, I'm sorry to say this, man of God. What I want to say right now is not to attack any man of God or preacher, but that's me. I said, God, I don't want tithes and offerings. I said, God, the tithes and offerings go to the church, but I want you to bless me professionally. And the Lord asked me, what do you want? I said, God, I just want to do something related to medicine. And the Lord said, choose any place, any career in America, I'll bless it. But I'm on ministry, but I want to bless you through that so that you can be flexible to do other things you did. Man of God, I will tell you today, I have 2 clinics in Las Vegas. I have 2 clinics.
Wow.
And they are running effectively. I have doctors, I have nurses, to the glory of God. And now people don't see that. I mean, apart from your program that's exposing that now, people don't know about that. But I thank God for your life, man of God, because I'm sharing this testimony to bless people.
Yes.
You know, God, I'm not practicing medicine. I don't feel it. I'm hiring doctors. I'm paying doctors today. And people don't know God. Listen, God is the planner. He's the way maker, miracle worker, promise keeper. There's no way you will serve God and God will leave you stranded. It's impossible. I'm telling you out of experience. My wife will tell you this. And one thing I will say is the 2 secrets of whoever I am today is, one, my wife. Listen, what I'm doing. My wife is a blessing to me. Before I got married to her, she knew who I was. I told her that who I'm going to be. And glory be to God, she caught the vision and said, yes, sir, let's write them. Let's write them, sir. Let's go. My wife, you see, I will encourage every single person out there, before you get married, don't just marry a wife. Marry a woman of prayer. Marry a woman of prayer. Listen, people always see me out there. They don't know the secret behind whatever they see is the needs of my wife, just like Sarah and Hannah. My wife understood my work. My wife understood I am too busy with so many things, professionally, ministry, and her needs. She was praying for me. Sometimes I'm not strong enough to pray, but she's praying for me. The Bible says, and the 2 shall become one. So when I'm weak, she's my strength. And number 2 is the grace of God. I'm too busy every day working. Even the pandemic didn't really affect me in the clinics, the outpatient clinics. I'm still working. People don't know. I go there, check up on things, and go ministry. I'm everywhere. But I will tell you this, the grace of God. The grace of God. And number 2, my wife plans my day. My wife plans my programs. She is my secretary. She's my assistant. She is everything right now. So she plans that. One of the reasons why things are going according to the plan of God is not because I'm Superman. I'm nobody. But I believe in planning. My wife put down the plans for me. Monday you're doing this at this time, and Tuesday you're doing this. So I have the plans, even though I feel weak sometimes. But passion is very powerful. Passion. Amen.
Yes. I'm so happy, and so I can feel the presence of God on this. I can feel from your testimony. I can feel. I don't know how many people that are out there listening at this time. How God can make somebody to come out of a low estate to this particular level right now. If you commit your ways unto the Lord and trust in Him, then it will make your way prosperous. Because I don't know if you are out there listening this time and you are confused about God's purpose for your life. I believe this program is for you, because hearing the testimony alone should be a guide and something that will stir up something in you. Even me listening alone, I am encouraged. I am blessed with from what Pastor Miracle is talking about right now. And I pray the Lord will continue to uphold you. Amen. Listen, when you look at somebody who has not practiced, despite the fact that he passed all the necessary things that he needs to do, and yet God said, he started negotiating with God. If you will do this one for me, I can't do this. I want to be this one. I want to be this one, and God prospered that. It's my belief and that there is somebody there that God will use this testimony to actually take from the low estate right now. Yes, when next we hear about that fellow, you will see that the person will talk about this, refer to this program that I heard that testimony, and that testimony changed my life. Praise God. That testimony changed my life. In talking about that, The purpose of this program is, is to encourage somebody. I was saying, when I called you and I realized, and I shared, I said, look, every one of us we all have goals and desire at the beginning of the year. And we have aspiration, we have, we receive prophecies, and we've all prayed, and 2020 is going to be like this, it's going to be like that, this is what I have. Some even have resolutions, some people have things that, but at about the time for us to roll up our balls and start running with the vision, that was a kind of interjection that came and said, stop. You can't go further than this now. I know you have vision, I know you have plans, I know you have goals, but I have to put you on hold for a while, because there is something that you need to do. You cannot continue with what you are doing until you have been updated. Change your system. There are people that have been doing, they are doing things based on tradition, being stereotyped, being we just recycle the same way. And God is saying, listen, for you to get yourself to this next point, you need to change. I need to twist things a little bit. You need to be reprocessed. You need to be refine-tuned, because now, from your word, God said, I don't want you to sit down with me men, because you want to be able to meet up with other people. You have to be able to get to other people. I always use our cell phone or our computer as an example to explain to many people. Every time you open your computer will tell you, sometimes we tell you an update. The update, you don't see what it needs to be updated, but the computer is saying to you, I need to reprocess myself. There are some new applications that just came out that probably you are not aware of. For you to run your program, for you to run your move forward, move faster, I need to update this system. And the moment you allow that update, what happened? You see it will restart you. Say, I need to restart. So press the start button. So when you restart, that does not mean it's taking you back, but launching you forward to the next place. You will see your computer working faster than the way it used to work before. You see your cell phone working faster, because there are some applications that have been updated and increased more space. The capacity has been increased. Is there anybody out there this moment? I'm talking to you right now. See, where you need to be before the end of this year, you will still get there. But what are you doing with your time when you are locked down? Because lockdown is for you to rediscover yourself, to see what you have not been able to do. There's some capacity in you that you have, that you don't know that you have. But being at home right now, God begin to pay, open your eyes, and you begin to pay attention to certain things that you have not seen before. The gift that you need is already provided for. The how to pay your debt is already provided for. It's only you have not been able to pay attention to it, just like that woman, like that widow that you see, cry to the man of God, and the man of God asks, "What do you have?" He said, "What?" The first answer is, "I don't have nothing." Until she remember, "Oh, I have only little oil." That is it. And that is it. The man, that is the solution to your problem. She doesn't need any prayer. Many times we think we need prayer for certain things, but common sense because that thing has been provided for, common sense will take us there. And God is saying, that is it. If you can only step into that and take that will be a new dawn for you. Because you just need to see what you need to get to where you are going. And I'm going to ask you, everybody is just going through the same thing right now in the whole world. Everybody locking down. Everybody, if they have not shut down a place, it's like the cycle of coronavirus has not been completed. Everybody has to shut down, to make sure at least we complete the cycle.
Yeah.
And the only thing is just like, what are you doing?
Yes, sir.
As a pastor, I know you always meet in your church every Sunday. You have a meeting in your church. But with the lockdown, how do you relate with your people? How do you continue with the work that God has given to you? What are the new things that that you are experiencing during this lockdown time?
Praise God. Thank you, sir, for that question. This is a very important question, and I believe it's the heart of this program today. Yes, most people, ministers, will tell you that they are doing well, everything is good, it's an avenue of blessing. Yes, I believe that, but I believe that for every new update, like you said, man of God, for every new update, there's discomfort.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that. All right.
Yes.
When you begin to do something in a certain way, and you are comfortable with that way, and all of a sudden, like you said, man of God, like all of a sudden, God changes the status quo. God said, you know what? No church, no building. It creates discomfort, man of God. And I will tell you this. First of all, when we experienced this and the shutdown took place, there was discomfort. It's natural. It's that thing. Oh, what happened? Oh, the discomfort came. Number two, I missed the faces of the people I love, the people I call family. To seeing them face to face now, it's not really that easy. But one of the things that is breaking my heart in this season is the people that are dying. Okay, it's breaking my heart to see people dying every day. I checked right now, more than 70,000 in America are dead. So it breaks the heart. So I pray God comforts those families. Okay. Now, what am I doing? Okay, that's the question. Man of God, like you said everything. When I was echoing, you were talking to me. When you were talking to me because what you said is what happened to me. God has a way of making a way. God has a way of creating a way in adversity. God has a way of making a way where there seems to be no way. Now, I know most pastors are discouraged, but I want to encourage them right now. This is not time to be discouraged because God can change the clock at any time. Yeah. Now you are comfortable with the church, the building, and God is saying, speak globally, because the Bible says, until the world has heard the gospel of peace.
Yes.
Until the world. Now imagine for the past 3 months now, I've been doing Facebook Live. The Lord gave me a new vision, wisdom nuggets. That's a next topic for next time. But I tell you one thing, man of God, I discovered myself more this season. I won't lie to you. I used to pray, but I pray more now. Okay. And I pray more now with my wife. People get too busy. You see, people are saying, oh, lockdown, lockdown, lockdown. But God has to lock you down. Being locked down is also in the Bible. You can be locked down for time. Mm-hmm. I mean, we are so busy all the time, and God said, you've not had time to update yourself. Father God, I like you, man. You've not had time to update yourself. And that's what happened to me. So when this lockdown took place, it was a time for me to ask God some questions. When the lockdowns happened initially, I stopped being on Facebook Live for 1 week with my wife. I called some of my ministry staff, those that do Wisdom Nugget and those in the ministry. I called them and said, can everyone just log out right now on social media? Let's have a time of reflection. Because if God allowed people not to go to church, if businesses are closed today, something is going on, man of God. There is something happening behind the scenes. And every Christian should take it seriously. Then I left Facebook for 1 week, and I was praying with my wife. We sought the face of God. I said, God, what is going on? What is going on? Why this sudden change? But such thing has not happened in my life before. That everywhere was locked down. Everywhere locked down. And God began to update me of the end times. And God began to take me to Matthew 24. And one book that God has been blessing me with, I want to encourage everybody. I don't know if I have that book close by right now. I would love to show people right now. It's a book written by Dr. Miles Moron. They died. The name of the book is Understanding the Power of Men.
Oh, yeah. That's a very
that book. I read that book already, but God told me to read the book again. And that book kept me busy this season. So what am I doing? I'll be reading books. I'll be reading books, and I'm writing more books. You see, one thing I will tell people right now is many people are going to regret it after lockdown, man of God. Many people were thinking that what their future is dependent on is their job. That job is for you to take care of your bills, but your destiny is connected to your gifts and talents. And people don't have time to go to their talents when they work. Let me tell you, if lockdown stops today, you go back to work. The same thing all over again. And people need to, I know not everybody has to be an entrepreneur, man of God, but I tell you one thing. If you really want to secure your life, secure your future, you have to secure your gifts. This was a time I tapped into the gifts that the Lord, that were hiding all this while. There were some gifts also hiding. And all this time, I'm not saying God should take away the lockdown, but the lockdown has been a blessing to me and my family. I've discovered more gifts, man of God. I've discovered more talents in me. I've discovered where I've messed up. Yes, I discovered my mess. People always think you have to be on TV, you have to be on the pulpit. Listen, before you even became a pastor, you had God only you and God.
Yes.
It was only you and God. Yes. And many of us have forgotten that after all said and done, man of God, it's all about you and God.
Yes.
Heavenly race is a personal race. Some pastors, some preachers have forgotten that. I know you have a big church, but guess what? It's a personal race. So I use this period to see where I messed up. Man of God, we all mess up sometimes. I've seen where I was weak in the spiritual life. I see where I didn't live up to expectations. God brought me down this moment. And I'm telling you, I'm enjoying this season. God is updating me. He's humiliating me. He's teaching me my mistakes. He's trying to be bringing me back to where I'm supposed to be, and is enlarging my vision in this season.
Amen.
A wise vision. So there are some dreams I and my wife kept in the locker. We locked it. Just recently, we went to the locker and brought out the gifts and the dreams, and we began to update the gifts. Some certain vision we have for this year and next year. So this time is a season of updating ourselves. Even though it's sad that we have to wear our gloves and wear our mask. Man of God, how do you feel going outside with your mask?
I'm telling you that kind of stuff. So,
you know, you wear your mask and you look like
we all look like ninjas.
Yeah. So that is a discomfort. The discomfort
you go out with gloves. You come.
Yes, sir.
Mask.
Yes, sir.
Just like everybody, you don't touch me. Sometimes you meet somebody in the. I went to store one time and I met one of the church one church that I've been to minister. So the men's president saw me and he was just yelling out this stuff. Hey, man of God! Oh my goodness! We just social distancing and everything. Yeah. Everybody, sometimes you just like, do I have to, people, put mask on and you still want to talk and just like it's not convenient. But at the same time, these two shall pass.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's a phase in our lives whereby we know that it will surely pass.
Yes, sir.
It won't stay too long. There are some things that I discovered in my life, during this time, that I've not. It widens my idea, widens my broadened my vision, and I started thinking. I was praying with someone not long ago, before the lockdown, and we were saying, there are things that devil want to do, that has to do with digging our foundation.
Yes, sir.
And nobody would dig. Anybody that wants to dig the foundation of your house, you understand? It simply means they want to really uproot you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Are you
yes, sir. I got you.
Somebody wants to get into the foundation. That means they want to know your beginning.
Yes.
They want to know everything about you.
Your nakedness.
The moment they get that thing, you are finished.
Yes.
And the only way the devil can do that is to do what? Is to catch us at a relaxing moment.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The moment, the only way he can do that is to catch us at the relaxing moment. This time we think, oh, it will soon pass. But what did you do with this time?
Yes, sir.
What have you discovered during this time? Just like the way you said it, people that have been ministering to big congregation, all of a sudden find themselves ministering to their computer.
Yes.
Or standing in the front of less than 10 people.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes it's not that easy, because what you are used to big crowd, and all of a sudden you are now ministering. Sometimes it might be a little bit rocky, but God says, what? Before I gave you the big
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It was just between me
and
you. Yes. Between me and you. You pastored yourself first before the big congregation. Some will say, oh, how many people you have in your place before I can minister in that place? Now that, what do you do when you don't have anybody to minister to right now? That you only minister to imaginary people.
Yes, sir.
And there are some people that says, oh, I deal with church. The world is so bad right now with the digital thing right now. But God is saying the gospel must be preached all over the place.
Amen.
There are some people that you don't have to have in your church, but you can have them on the line.
Yes, sir.
How will you get them on the line if you don't plug yourself into that system? If you are just only a traditional person, I'm only a church person. I minister with my pulpit and my congregation. I don't do Facebook. I don't do YouTube. I don't do anything that has to do with social media. You have not fulfilled your purpose as a minister of God. Even with government right now, they're learning new things.
Yes, sir.
As good as everybody is coming online. Sir, can I shock you this? Even the online people, the internet people, when everybody came back online, they also experienced problem. As good as it will have been for them, they also experienced problem, because that was everybody that came caused traffic on their system, and with that they have to upgrade. You understand? That's a good problem. But they wouldn't need to upgrade if there's no traffic.
Yes, sir.
So in other words, everybody get updated in one area or the other. So as we get this program to a close, I want to encourage somebody right there.
Amen.
You still have a little time in your hand.
Yes.
Because you might not know if what you are made up of until you sit down and rediscover yourself. And God is saying to you right now, settle down.
Yes.
Get away from crowd.
Yes.
Get away from noise.
Yes.
And let me talk to you personally.
Yes, sir.
I created this lockdown just for us to have conversation.
Yes.
Just for you to rediscover what you are missing.
Yes.
Just for you to discover what you have left undone.
That's right.
From there, you can pick up the mess and readjust yourself, so that you'll be launched out into the day. Absolutely. By the time this whole thing is over, you will be on the top. You will be on your way to the top. You will not just be at the same, you will not be practicing the same thing right now.
Amen.
Listen to me, brethren. Wherever you are watching from, either you are watching right now or you are watching later, I want to encourage you. Let the testimony of Pastor Dr. Miracle encourage you. Yeah. Be a blessing to you. Just before we go, maybe some of you don't know, there's another area that I've not touched in the life of Dr. Miracle. That is also a worshiper. Amen. Yes, before we go, it's going to sing, just a couple of songs for us to, worship God in a little way. Yeah, because I know when you see a worshiper, I recognize them and I don't take them for granted. One thing that this time has done for us is just like it make the people that have, it make our relationship that have been wide apart. It compress everything and bring everybody closer, because now we can connect without even leaving our homes, and you can also connect with the Lord in this present time to us well. Even as a worship, and give God praise. You can also connect with the Lord. So this is the time for us to just connect together and worship God. And I pray that the Lord will bless you in the mighty name of Jesus. I want to thank you so much for coming, Dr. Miracle. And I know this is not going to be the end of our relationship and of coming back to this show. There has so much untold story that you will come back to tell us. Because we love to hear that the hand of the Lord is so much on you, and I can feel it. And when I say that kind of thing, I don't like to let go like that. I cherish the power of God upon your life. It's my prayer that the Lord will continue to keep your ministry on and keep your clinics and everything that you are doing. Every life that you have touched so far, the Lord will double them and spread them around and become, or that we start touching other people's life too as well. In the mighty name of Jesus, the Lord keep your family and your ministry. In the
Bishop, before we go, there's something that I just want to say for just 1 minute. And I don't know who is watching right now. If you're a pastor, this is a word for a pastor. Any pastor watching right now, I have a word for you from God. Please, I would say this to you. If you are feeling up to now very uncomfortable where you are, you have to change, because God is telling you today to stop building a crowded church. Start building a healthy church. Now, God told me something 2 weeks ago. I shared with my wife, and the Lord said, after this lockdown, I am going to expose some pastors. I'm going to bring some people down. Those that are popular today are going to go, some of them will go down. Many people who are popular today are just popular. They have the name, but they've lost the glory. Many people are like Achan. And God is saying, feed yourself, like you said, man of God, Bishop. Feed yourself now, because this is a time for you and God.
Yes.
So that when the lockdown is over, you begin to function in the next dimension. So if you are uncomfortable right now and you are waiting for lockdown to be over, and you are still not connected to the vine, God is saying he will spew you out of his mouth. So bear one thing in mind, after this lockdown, God will demote some people and will raise unknown people. Praise God.
Yes, it's my prayer that everybody will start getting connected and discover yourself. The Lord is the Lord is looking for people, the army that will raise, that will go to the war to fight.
Amen.
That will go to the war to fight. There is so much confusion in the world right there.
Yes,
and devil is happy because why? He has nothing to lose.
Yes,
He's actually getting more. And the people that are sleeping right now, God is saying, wake up.
Yes, sir.
Wake up.
Yes, sir.
And that's why he's using you and I to say, wake up, wake up. Everyone out there, God is calling you.
Amen.
And let us do this work.
Amen.
This lockdown is going to be over very soon.
Amen.
Or you will say, you will remember to say something. Are you updated?
Yes, sir.
Or you are still
I like that.
in the old system. When you are updated, by the time you're updated and you get yourself updated, you get your work faster.
Yes, sir.
Your vision change. Your focus change.
Yes, sir.
Means that you do things differently. Because why? God has just made a statement.
Amen.
That I can change season and time.
Amen. Amen.
I don't work with the way everybody is working.
Yes. Yes, sir.
God is in this time.
Amen.
And he's telling you, wake up.
Amen.
And I believe you are getting the word and the Lord will bless you.
Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's just get together as Dr. Miracle give us one worship.
Amen. You are here doing all you do. We worship you. Hey, we worship you. You are here doing all the miracles you do, my God. We worship you. We worship you. Everybody help me sing now. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, That is who you are. Oh, Maker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. That is who you are. Father, we thank you because you are a miracle worker. We thank you because you are a promise keeper.
Hallelujah.
We thank you, God, because you make a way where there seems to be no way.
Hallelujah.
You know somebody right now watching this program, I believe you gave this program, you gave this vision to my bishop for a reason. Lord, I thank God that he obeyed your call. And this message is going across the world. I thank you for all the lives that you are touching as he began 3 weeks ago. And I thank God for the lives you blessed today. Lord, I pray you will continue this work and let millions of people be blessed through the update in this ministry in the name of Jesus Christ.
Amen.
And every heart that is receiving the word today, everyone watching this program today, I pray you update them, oh God. Update their vision, update their dreams, update their promises, update their visions and revelations, their gifts, their talents. In the name of Jesus Christ, we pray. Give you praise and give you glory. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen and amen. Amen.
Thank you so much, Dr. Miracle.
Thank you.
I am so blessed to have you here on this show, The Update. And we look forward to see you either in the house and also on this line.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, see you next time.
As
we say, as we draw the curtain of this program, The Update. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. God bless you, sir. Bye.